I love living in Albuquerque just as much as the next guy, but the truth is that not every city is perfect and neither is Albuquerque. And in today's video, I'm gonna be going over some things that are just annoying about living here, some quirky things, and of course these things all at the end of the day are pretty funny once you get used to the day in and day out of living here in Albuquerque. So hang tight, grab your pen, your pad, and let's get into today's video. You know that I love living here in Albuquerque, and you're probably asking yourself why I would say that living here can be annoying. And that's anywhere that you go. I'm sure wherever you're living in right now, as much as you love it, you have some things that just irk you on the day-to-day, and I'm the same, right? Being born and raised here, there's some things that I have become adjusted to or really gotten used to when it comes down to living here because I love it. And these things may not all be bad in your light. You might say, Eli, you're just being a big crybaby, like calm down, it's not that bad. But for me, I know they're big annoyances, and if I didn't tell you about them, I feel like I'd do you a huge disservice. So getting right into it, one of the first things that I find super annoying about living here in Albuquerque is the wind. Now, it's not because it feels good on a hot summer day or whatever the case is, but when the wind gets going here, it gets going and it picks up everything. And when that dirt and that dust gets picked up, I suffer from allergies like terribly. I look like I just went through 10 rounds with Mike Tyson and there's no end in sight for me, right? My nose is running, my eyes are all puffy, I can barely breathe. And if I can tell you anything, if you have breathing issues, I highly recommend that you speak with your doctors before you relocate down here because we are at a higher elevation, and if you suffer from allergies, it could just make things a little bit worse. So always consult, right? Make sure that it's a right move before you relocate down here. Even though you love it here, maybe you're just better off visiting, right? Or having a second home here. Whatever the case is, we can help you with that. In all actuality, it's kind of funny because most of the time when the dirt and wind just like gets going, it puts dirt everywhere, and dirt is like water. It finds a hole to get into and it just goes there and it hides there and it just accumulates like your window sills, little cracks at your front door, and especially if you live on a corner lot like I do, all that leaves and all that dirt just gets piled up on your front door, so you're constantly out there sweeping and blowing the front door so it looks presentable whenever you have guests over, right? You don't want to be that person that just has the people tracking everything into your clean house. So if that doesn't bother you like it bothers me and you're just okay with it, you don't mind a little bit of wind, you don't suffer from allergies, then hey, you're gonna be just fine. Hey, I wanted to hop in real quick just to interrupt the video before you get back into talking about all the annoying things that Albuquerque has to offer and, you know, chill out and hang out with me for a little bit. I want to thank you for stopping by the Living in Albuquerque channel. If this is your first time tuning in, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you never miss out on any videos, especially if you're planning on relocating down here in the next year or so, because you're going to find a ton of information on this channel in relations to relocating to Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Los Lunas, and the whole state of New Mexico. So if you are interested in that, as much as I love doing this, I would love to also help you out with your real estate needs because I am a licensed real estate broker here in the state of New Mexico, and we've helped families relocate from all over the United States and some other countries, believe it or not, down to the great state of New Mexico. And if you are ready, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Feel free to call or text me at any time. And if you're not ready, I got something special for you. Down in the description below is a free relocation guide. Download it, it's free. You get to learn about all the cool neighborhoods, population count, average price of homes, and all the cool things to do here in Albuquerque. And it just helps you become that more in tune with that move before you actually make it. Now let's get back into the video. I can't tell you how many drinks and how many things I got going on in this desk because it's super dry here. And that's one of the annoying things that I find about living here in Albuquerque that you might find annoying too, is that it's super dry. Like I got my mason jar full of water, squeezy juice. I got a bottled water here. I got a Gatorade, and of course the coffee doesn't help, but hey, I'm a coffee drinker, so that makes me even more thirstier. And plus, I'm gonna show you my knuckles, but don't make fun of me because I do apply tons of lotion throughout the day. And I am a paper pusher, so I'm not constantly working with my hands outside. I'm not going outside the majority of the time. I'm literally inside 80% of the day. So to deal with these annoying things, having to apply lotion, always making sure that I got chapstick for my chapped lips, always making sure that I got a beverage in my hands, because if not, I'm gonna get super dry with all the talking that I do, of course. My throat is gonna bother me. I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna pass out because I'm dehydrated. Like, that's the truth about living here in Albuquerque, is that you're gonna have to stay hydrated. One of the most annoying things, especially in the wintertime, is that there's no moisture in the air. Like, believe it or not, the only moisture that we get is when it snows, and sometimes that doesn't even help. I get thirstier when it snows for whatever reason, and maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a weird creature like that. So if you find wherever you're living at right now is, you know, it's okay with the humidity, unless you live like in Houston or Florida, moving down to Albuquerque, you're gonna find that you're gonna need that humidity. You're gonna find that maybe purchasing a couple humidifiers for your house is a good investment. I know that we put them around the house during the winter time because once this heater gets kicked on, it just sucks all of the moisture out of the air and it just makes it unbearable. So very annoying. If you can relate to that and you find it just as annoying as I do, then I don't know, maybe we move you up to like Pecos or Jemez. I don't know. Maybe we talk about a different place other than Albuquerque. But if you're okay with that and you're like, Eli, just drink more water. Come on, guy, it's good for you. Then you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna hate me for this one. And due to the landscaping circumstances here, all the gravel that people put in their yards, like 95% of the houses here in New Mexico have xeriscape landscaping, and that's that boring gray rock that we all put in our front yards because it's easy maintenance, right? It's also part of the look, right? The New Mexico look. The problem with that is that a lot of this gravel and a lot of this rock travels throughout the city, right? So when you are traveling on the freeways, you're bound to get a chipped or cracked windshield. Like it's gonna happen. And that to me is super annoying. Like I've gotten to the point where I just ride it out till the wheels fall off on that cracked windshield. I have one on my car right now that I've had for the past, what, two and a half years. And I'm just like, it's gonna happen again, and I just don't want to spend almost $500 to get this thing replaced. Even with insurance, like insurance is okay about replacing the dang thing, but in most cases it's like you're better off just replacing it out of pocket. So if you find that annoying just as much as I do, you just, I don't know, when the rocks get kicked up on the freeway, you just get upset. You're gonna have to get over that. It's annoying, and it's actually almost comical because there'll be times where I have to remind myself when I'm driving behind those big dump trucks that carry all that rock that I actually need to create some space. That tailgating is not the thing to do behind these guys, right? Have you ever driven down the freeway with your hand out the window and one of those pebbles hits your hand? It freaking hurts. So just imagine what it can do to your windshield. So don't hate me for that one. Just really be mindful and be aware that if you don't have a cracked windshield, you're bound to get one. I hate getting lost. Like, it's one of the most annoying things that I find about Albuquerque. People just, they help you with this. They help you getting lost, like, believe it or not. And if you're not a local, you're not really gonna understand where you're at. So one annoying thing that I've run into is, for instance, like when Bridge turns into Dolores Huerta Street, when Rio Bravo turns into Dennis Cesar Chavez. Like, what gives? Why did we do this? Or when Coors turns into 528 or Pat Darko, like, just send me the address. Like, I'll get there using GPS. And sometimes their GPS will lead you astray. Sometimes it will navigate you the long way. You'll end up someplace where you shouldn't have been, like, especially out in Rio Rancho. Like, it'll take you through some back roads where you're just like, hey, Google, hey, Apple, this was not a street. This is a dirt road. And if something happens to me out here, I'm toast. I'm done. Like, I'm just throwing in the towel right here. So one thing that I highly recommend is that you really get used to when people talk about the different sides of town, right? If they're talking about the northeast side, then you kind of have an idea where you're at, or the west side, or you're talking about like uptown, South Valley, North Valley, foothills, like all that stuff, right? You really want to get in tune with the lingo about the city's layout. That way you understand exactly where you're at, because then you can kind of click some top names of these streets like Lomas, Central, Eubank, Wyoming, and Louisiana, and just find your way back out, right? With that being said, I want to make sure that you understand that the city's layout can get quirky. And it gets annoying from time to time, especially if you are somebody that does Uber, Lyft, or you're just constantly on the road like I am. You're gonna find it annoying sometimes. All right, so I lied. It's gonna get a little bit more expensive for you to live down here in Albuquerque for the simple fact that you're gonna need a car. I know it's annoying, right? Like petrol, pollution, it sucks, right? Especially for a guy like me that has 3 of them, and I own a big truck. And for the majority of the time, if I could walk or ride my bike or ride my skateboard anywhere, I would. But fact of the matter is, it's not practical, it's not real. It'll take me 2 to 3 hours just to get to the grocery store if I did. And if I was taking groceries with me, it'd be even worse because then I'd have to lug it all back. Like, that's not ideal to me. So pretty annoying to the fact that yes, you have to accrue these extra expenses, but it's within a good reason because you're gonna utilize this tool every day, right? A vehicle is a tool to get you to and from point A to point B, especially if you're on the road constantly like I am, or if you just live from one side of the town, like on the west side, and you're traveling all the way to the east side, you're gonna wanna get there pretty quick, especially if you run late like I do the majority of the time, all right? Just account for that. If you're a person that utilizes public transportation, just know that we do have that. We have the ABQ Ride and the ABQ Art Bus that are constantly running, and they only run really on the major streets. So you're gonna wanna really prepare yourself for where you're gonna wanna live if you're gonna be utilizing these services, right? Because yes, they are low cost, in some cases free. I think the Art Bus is free, but it gets pretty annoying when you miss that bus and you have to wait another 15 or 45 minutes for it to come. So if you are planning on moving down here, plan on getting a car. I apologize again, just another added cost to your whole move. If you already own a car and you already have a few, then this isn't gonna be an issue for you. Alrighty, we're gonna have to cut this video, and it's for good reason. It's one of the reasons that I brought up in the first topic, and that's the whole dust and allergy conversation. Like, forget it. Anytime that I clean house or I go outside on a windy day, or even on a normal day, I'm always suffering from some type of allergy. So if you're like me and you have bad allergies, or if you're coming from a place where you don't have allergies, you're gonna be surprised when you find out that you actually have some type of allergy. It happens all the time. People tell me like, Eli, I never had allergies back in Houston. I never had allergies in Idaho or in California. But now that I moved to New Mexico, it is bad. So this is my pre-warning to you. Is be prepared. You're gonna wanna stock up on allergy meds, you're gonna wanna drink tons of water, and you're also gonna have to adjust that elevation game because obviously with allergies, it makes it hard to breathe, and being at a higher elevation, it just makes it that much harder. So you're constantly gonna feel like you're in fight or flight or doing a 5K every time that you get up for a drink of water. I do. And maybe I'm over exaggerating it, just trying to be funny, but I'm just trying to impress the point that people really do suffer from allergies here. Like, almost 80% of the people that I know, either seasonal or year-round like I do, they have allergies, and it's just a common thing here. When you run into people, they're not gonna say that they're sick, they're just gonna say that they have allergies, and sometimes they are actually really sick, but they wanna blame allergies kind of thing. So just be wary, right? That having allergies here is pretty common, and if you don't have them, you more than likely are gonna get them. And that's not a tried and true statement. I'm not a doctor by any means, but it's just my own kind of like analysis of what I see when people actually relocate down to New Mexico, that they actually start to suffer from allergies. I hope I didn't scare you away. And although that these aren't like super big topics or political or anything like that, they're still pretty important, right? These are the things that are gonna affect your day-to-day life when you do live here in Albuquerque. So I wanna make sure that I give it to you first. I give you just a real perspective about living here and some of the annoying things that comes with living here in Albuquerque, whether it's weather, wind, cracked windshields, zero-scape landscaping, allergies, whatever the case is. I want you to know about these things because they're real, right? And they annoy me, so I figured they'd probably annoy you and you'd want to know about them. But none of that is deterring you, and you're still ready to call this place home. That number popping up in the screen right here is my direct line. Call or text me at any time. We could chat more about these different things. We could chat on more of a serious note to talk about what neighborhoods and what areas and what houses are gonna fit everything that you're looking for. So I'd love to help you out. Call or text at any time. Download that free relocation guide in the description down below. I'm gonna get back to work. I'm gonna drink all these beverages that I have on my table right now because I'm super thirsty after doing this video. So I hope you have a good weekend. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.